Good evening, everyone. I am hopping on and I am hopefully on my Facebook page, Jen Stampin' for Fun. And totally spur of the moment this afternoon, I thought I would hop on live so that I can share some of the perks of the current Stampin' Up promotion going on, as well as sharing a bit about my Stampin' Up story and my journey. So I know it can sometimes take a few minutes for the feed to show up in people's groups. So I'll just, while I'm waiting to see if anybody is able to tune in, I know it was very last minute that I was sharing that I would be on today. So it's about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here in Markham, Ontario. So I know if you're able to join in, that's great. And please let me know you've joined in just by sharing your name and where you're from. And then I'll tell you a little bit about myself before I kind of dive in and get started. So I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been a demonstrator for about just over 10 years, believe it or not. Way more than I ever expected. And it really just kind of happened a little bit by accident, I have to say. I don't know whether everybody can say that about their Stampin' Up! Journey, but my journey definitely started in sort of a roundabout way. So tonight I thought I would just share a little bit about my story and about my journey, because I know many of you who have been following my page have recently seen some amazing posts of where I was recently. I was on an Alaskan cruise, courtesy of Stampin' Up! And you may be wondering how I managed to get there and how I could enjoy such a great vacation. So I can certainly tell you a little bit more about that. And I definitely want it to be a Q&A kind of experience. So if you have any questions, I actually have a raffle prize tonight. So the raffle prize, it's all wrapped up. It's actually a little scrap bin. I have one right on the side of my desk here. This is my craft room. I actually keep my scrap bin right next to my desk so that when I'm crafting, I can just kind of see, just kind of toss everything in there, and it keeps things nice and tidy. So let me know, just if you're tuning in, just let me know your name, where you're from, and anybody who comments or asks a question will be entered to win this great raffle prize. Actually, you really just have to ask a question, not just comment. So I love questions, because then I'll know how to answer them and I'll know how to comment along the way. Oh, so great. Sherry has tuned in. Hi, Sherry. So hopefully you caught a bit of the introduction that I am hopping on live to share a bit about my Stampin' Up! Journey. And I normally do this event as a live event. This is the first time I've ever done it on Facebook Live. I normally do it where we all get together around a table, and I call it family night. And the reason I call it family night is because I'm just sharing about the Stampin' Up! Family. So if you're just tuning in, I see a few more little people it's just showing that people are tuning in. Just a reminder that every question you ask tonight on the Facebook Live will get you a raffle ticket. So I know not everybody can tune in live, but as long as you comment or ask, I guess if you ask your question within the next 24 hours, you will be entered in for the raffle for the cute little trash bin. Okay, so keep letting me know that you're out there and saying hello. So why don't I start with my story? So my story is basically that I guess it must have been over 10 years ago now, probably 11 or 12 years ago, I was invited to a home party. It was actually our pastor's wife that invited me over, and she just invited me over to enjoy girls' time. She said somebody was coming to share how to make handmade cards, and since I basically had a newborn at home, I had two older children and then a newborn. I thought, what the heck, it'll be great to get out and enjoy some girls' time. I didn't have really any interest in card making or anything, but I thought I would really enjoy a night out. And so that's what happened. So I made some beautiful cards I think it was an afternoon. I made some beautiful cards that afternoon. And it's unbelievable how it went from there to having the demonstrator or teacher come to my house and do it all over again. And then since I don't consider myself at all creative or extra fancy creative, then I really, really loved how the Stampin' Up! Product all coordinated together, and I was able to kind of put things together and just make the colors match. And there were so many wonderful samples on the internet that I was able to kind of create by copying different things on the internet, and it just made it so easy, and I loved it. I sort of fell in love with the products. I fell in love with the experience of stamping with people and having fun. And so I ended up buying the starter kit. I really bought it just because it was a great deal, and because I wanted a discount on purchasing more supplies. So I had no intention whatsoever of building a business, but I did know that I wanted to be with other women. I just felt it could be just such a great time for women to hang out, let go of the stresses of life, enjoy each other's company, and get a break from being a mom and taking care of the kids. So I did do a few classes here and there just with my friends. And from there, it kind of grew into a part-time business, which I'm very passionate about and proud of. So that's what happened. So 10 years, fast forward 10 years, and I have experienced so many amazing things. I think I've experienced like 7 incentive trips to exotic destinations. Stampin' Up! Pays for myself and a guest, airfare, hotel, food, all of that. So that's incredible. So those of you who are Facebook friends with me will have seen lots of different travel pictures, and that is just a part of my Stampin' Up! Journey. But I can't minimize just the friendships and the people that I've met along the way that have made it super special too. Okay, so that is my story. I was gonna show some of the great events that I've been to. Maybe I'll grab my scrapbooks after. But Stampin' Up! Events are the best. There's entertainment, there's lots of creativity, there's lots of inspiration. But I'm gonna turn it over to you. I am here to answer any questions, so if you do have any, make sure that you're commenting on them. I've only seen one comment pop up, so I hope there isn't any sort of, I'm going to turn on my iPad, make sure there's no sort of glitch on seeing the comments, because I know sometimes Facebook can be funny that way. You don't know if you can see the comments or not all the time. But in the meantime, I want to do some stamping with you too. So let's do that, because stamping is really part of the fun. What I'm going to do, and while I'm waiting for questions to come in, I am going to flip my phone onto the mount so that you can see what I'm showing, and hopefully you can also see that everything will be the right way and it won't be mirror image. So let's give that a try. Let's see if we can do a successful flip here. Let's see, let's flip this over. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can kind of see the table there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Sherry, if you're out there, please let me know if you can still hear me, because I'm just flipping it around. Okay, and what I want to show you is I'm going to do a little bit of stamping because that is fun, but I want to show you the starter kit deal that is on right now. Okay, so in this folder here, And now if anybody wants one of these folders, just let me know, and if you're local to me, I can whip it over to you. But right now, only until the end of July, when you join the Stampin' Up! Family, you can choose 10 free ink pads. So this is on top of the regular amazing price of the regular price is $135, but you get to choose $165 worth of product. So why don't I actually start there, reminding you that you get 10 free ink pads on top of that. But why don't we start with what it would be. I've just made a little comparison because I know some people are more visual, and I hope this is all not showing up mirror image. That's why I flipped this around. But with the starter kit, you get to pick $165 worth of product, and then only until July 31st, you get a color family of 10 ink pads. So that's an additional regular price, $92.25. So if you added those things together, it would normally cost $257.25, plus you add on the shipping and the tax. And then, so the grand total that you would be paying for the ink pads and the $165 worth of product would be $319.76. Now let's move over to what the starter kit actually is. You get $165 worth of product. You get those ink pads for free. There's no shipping. There's no tax. Most provinces in Canada do not charge tax on this. I think there might be one or two exceptions. And then what do you pay? $135 flat. That's it. So that's all you pay for all this stuff. If you were to buy it regularly, just not with the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit, this is what you'd pay. So in the end, there is a savings of $184.76. So that is an amazing value right there. So if you have any interest in Stampin' Up! Products, if you enjoy using Stampin' Up! Products, if you like crafting, then this is a no-brainer deal to take advantage of right now, just until the end of July. So I did jot down here, if you are interested in taking advantage of that deal, to just head to my website, genevieve.stampinup.net/join-the-fun. And there is a join now button in the middle of the page, and then you can just take advantage of the starter kit. So let me give you an example of what you can get in your starter kit. So nobody's asking me any questions. So far I have no raffle tickets for the fun trash bin. So I have more things to say, but I'm gonna try and hold off and see if anybody asks the questions. But let me give you some examples of what you could get in your starter kit. You could get a pack of cardstock, some pack of vellum, stamp set. Look, I've got a whole bin here. Stamp set, the new pearls, some twine, some ink pads. I've got Mossy Meadow, soft suede, petal pink, blocks to mount your stamps onto, stamping dimensionals, a punch, note cards and envelopes, some adhesive. So all of that normally would cost, where's my little piece of paper? Normally that would cost $319, but you would get all of this for only $135. So I thought I'd do a little stamping and show you what you can make with these great things that I have in this bucket. But of course, you don't have to choose these things. You can choose anything you want. You can choose, you know, if you wanted to choose other supplies, as long as it's $165 or less, then that's what you can choose. So let me show you what you could make with this. So we always have to have some stamping when I do a video. So let's take a look at, okay, so I'm going to take out, this is just one of our very vanilla note cards and envelopes. And what I'm going to use is, my desk is getting pretty messy here, but I'm going to use that perennial birthday stamp set right here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just stamp some flowers with the petal pink ink. So let me grab that. I've Everything's going crazy here. Now just remember, any questions you ask, I can answer them, and just for asking a question, you'll be entered to win a prize. So I'm happy to answer your questions. So you just tap on the ink pad and go straight down and straight up. So I'm using the Petal Pink ink and the Perennial Birthday stamp set. So this is kind of the flower image. I'm probably going a little crazy on the flowers. Maybe we didn't need quite that many, but that's okay. Every card I make can be different. And then I'll close off that ink pad. So I love how our ink pads just slide and flip closed. So it just means that the ink stays upside down so that the ink is pooling near the top, and it's very juicy and always easy to use. So I'm going to head over to the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to take the kind of the leaf part of the flower and stamp it here. Can you see that? If it's not perfect, it's okay. Oh, I see Deb joined in. Hi, Deb. It's a little hard to stand over my mount and stamp, so this is going to be kind of special. So Deb, I just saw that you're tuning in later, but I'm just sharing about my Stampin' Up! Journey, sharing about the great value of the starter kit. The starter kit is always a great value because you get to pick $165 worth of crafting supplies, but only pay $135, no tax or shipping. So it's always a great value, but just until July the 31st, you can choose a whole family of ink pads, 10 ink pads for free. Yes, the new ink pads are fantastic. So there you go. I've dressed that up. And then I am going to cut a piece of that vellum. You remember in my sample starter kit, I had used some vellum. So I'm going to use this vellum, and then I'm going to cut it at 4 inches by 3 inches. So I think lots of people have paper trimmers. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to use the cutting blade here. I'm going to cut it at 3 inches and then at 4 inches. There we go. Okay, so I'll move that out of the way. And I will also cut a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. So let me take a piece of that. So I love how the ink and the cardstock match, so that I was using Mossy Meadow ink. We're going to use some Mossy Meadow cardstock there. Let me put this away. And I am going to cut the Mossy Meadow at 3.5 by 1 inch. So let me cut this 1 inch. There we go. And I'm going to cut it at 3.5. Okay, so we are done with that. Okay, and then I will take a piece of the Very Vanilla cardstock, and we're going to stamp the words in soft suede. So here we go. Here's the soft suede, and again, so easy to open these new ink pads. You just lift and slide, and we'll do the words. There we go. And I am just using everything that is in that bucket I showed you earlier. So this is the punch, and we'll just pop it right in there and pop it out. Okay, so it's so easy. And again, we'll take some adhesive, some dimensionals, and we will lay this right on top. And I like to hide my dimensional in the middle, because then you won't see it through the vellum, because I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'll put this piece here. I may actually cut a little flags here. So I'm just going to cut some flags. So this is why I sort of fell in love with Stampin' Up! Because it actually does not take a long time to create something beautiful. I'm sure many of you are just like me. You've got other commitments in life, whether it's being a mom, being a wife, working. I used to be an occupational therapist and had to go to work. So there's just all these things, but I definitely needed something for myself to enjoy. And stamping was a great way to kind of unwind and relax, and just kind of take a load off the stress of daily life. And because I didn't think of myself as super creative, it was like a miracle to me that I could just spend a couple minutes and something beautiful would turn up. I might be running low on my glue here. Here we go. Okay, so we'll just put that right in the center, so we're hiding that little dimensional. Okay, does anyone have any questions? I'm here to answer questions. I'll pop this up with the dimensional. Okay, so we'll just pop that in there. Look at how cute that is. And it'd be fun to put some of those new pearls on there. So I'll just pop that on either side. There we go. So this is an example of what you could make with all the things that I had shown in the bucket earlier. But again, you could pick whatever you want in your Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. There's actually no limit to what you can choose. The only things you cannot choose is you cannot choose host sets, which are special sets in the catalog just for those who have hosted a party. And I don't believe you can choose Paper Pumpkin subscriptions as part of your starter kit. Okay, but other than that, things are pretty much available, anything in the catalog. Okay, so there you go. That's how easy it is to create a beautiful card, and so quick, so easy. And there's even like a matching envelope, which I have currently lost. But anyway, you get the idea. So all the things you get can certainly help you make some beautiful, beautiful creations. Did you guys like that card? Let me know what you think. We could obviously make so many other things because the note cards and envelopes, I believe you get 20 in a package. So you can make 20 different cards. You could make them the same, you could make them different. It's totally up to you. And we'll put that all back in there just to remind us that it is a whole lot of stuff you get for only $135. We'll put that in there. Okay, so now let me tell you about what happens after you get the starter kit. Let me see whether I can turn this back around. I think I'm done the Stampin' card. So let me see whether I can flip this back around. Oh, good. Yeah, it's just a super cute card. Let's see whether I can flip this back around. Hopefully you guys can still see me and hear me. I prefer to look at everyone, not that you're out, not that I can see your faces, but I think it's nicer if I can show my face just when I'm sharing. But, oh, this is going to be backwards now. Let me see if I can flip it around for you. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see this now. So what if, let's look at this one. So once you purchase the starter kit, you're now eligible to get 20% discount on all your orders. So that is one of the huge perks of joining the Stampin' Up! Family. Sometimes people will ask me or say to me, I don't want to do what you do. I don't want to do parties. I don't want to run classes, you know. And I always say that's okay. You don't have to. Of course, if you do want to earn an extra income, it's absolutely available to you, but you don't have to. You can just enjoy the discount yourself and be your own happy shopper and best customer. So let me show you, if you were to purchase the, okay, let's go this way. If you were to just purchase $200 in product, just from me, directly, you'd be paying $200 for the merchandise. You'd pick $200 worth of merchandise. You'd pay $20 in shipping. There's $28.60 in tax, bringing you to a grand total of $248.50. So if you were just to buy Stampin' Up! Product, just retail like that, and the reason why I picked 200 is because that's the threshold where you get free Stampin' rewards from Stampin' Up! They'll give you $20 that you can use on free product before you close off your order. But once you buy the starter kit, here's where it gets exciting. Don't forget that already just by buying the starter kit, you're saving $184.76. But then on future orders, right here, you would, oh, sorry, everything's all reversed for me. But hopefully you can kind of see, I hope it's not reversed for you. But once you purchase the starter kit, your $200 order, you still pay the $20 shipping. We can't change that. But in Ontario, your tax is actually less because it's considered business supplies that you're purchasing. And then on top of that, you get your 20% discount. So altogether, your $200 in product suddenly only costs you $203.40. And you still also get the same benefits that a customer gets, which is the $20 in free Stampin' rewards. So that gives you a savings of $45.20 on your order. So what can I say? If you have any interest in saving money on your crafting supplies, the starter kit is definitely the best deal. But there may be other reasons to join. I mean, there's other reasons why I have continued to stay active as I am. And some of those reasons are the amazing discount, of course. But some of the other reasons that I continue to do what I do is the high quality product. It's because the product actually works very well. So Deb is asking, how much do you have to buy a year? Okay, that's a great question, Deb. So, you're asking, I think if I understand your question correctly, by the way, you get a raffle ticket just for asking questions. So awesome sauce for you. How much do you have to buy a year? So if you want to maintain the demonstrator perks, of which one of the perks is the 20% discount, if you want to maintain it, you need to have $400 in orders each quarter. It's actually $395 in orders each quarter as a demonstrator. That's right. So that means, and the quarters run by calendar months. So January to March is one quarter, April to June is one quarter, July to September is another quarter, and October to December is a quarter. So if you were to purchase the starter kit now in July to take advantage of the 10 free ink pads, you would get all the demonstrator perks until, let me see, July, August, September, until December, because the quarter, you'd be buying it in one quarter, so they kind of waive that quarter. So your next full quarter would be October to December. So as long as you have, first of all, you'd get all those perks all the way up till December. And, but then if you have $400 in orders between now and the end of December, and remember those orders can be your own orders, or they can be orders from friends and family, or a combination of both, then the perks renew for another quarter, and they would renew until the January to March quarter. So I hope that makes sense, Deb. I keep talking about the discount because that's a huge one for me and for a lot of people. But there are lots of other perks that come along with getting the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. Other perks are that you would be able to access catalogs earlier. Stampin' Up! Does allow their demonstrators to see new catalogs before everybody else. So actually in my hot hands, I have the holiday catalog with me, and I've been able to look at it. Demonstrators have already all seen some of the great new product that's coming down the pipe. So would that include the holiday catalog as well? So I'm not sure, Deb, if you're asking, by the way, second raffle ticket for you. Thank you for asking a question. What Deb's asking is the holiday catalog. Right now, we're not in the pre-order period. They've sort of shown us some sneak peeks. So if you're building your starter kit now to take advantage of the July offer of the 10 free ink pads, you can choose from the annual catalog. You can choose items from the annual catalog, and there is a special stamp set, exclusive stamp set that is going to go live for everybody in August. But as a demonstrator, you could add that into your starter kit as well. It's a beautiful new stamp set. Actually, I'm going to get it for you to show you. Called Blended Seasons. So you could add that to your starter kit as well. But as soon as you buy the starter kit in July, in August, you can just start ordering right away from the holiday catalog, because that's when it is available for demonstrators to order. If you're not a demonstrator, you are not able to order from that catalog until September. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Deb. Thank you for breaking the ice on the questions. If anybody else has questions, please ask them. Remember, every question you ask will get you a raffle ticket for the cute little scrap bin here, because I like to know what questions you have. Chances are, if you have a question about it, somebody else has a question, so I am happy to answer it. So the perks that come with getting the starter kit besides the discount is being able to see catalogs earlier, being able to order from them earlier, being able to have access to exclusive videos just for demonstrators, different training videos, and then there are incentives just for demonstrators that Stampin' Up! Gives us. So for example, sometimes during certain promotions just for us, they will say, if you are able to do this, we'll give you a free tool. So the current thing just for demonstrators right now is that if we are able to get some new Paper Pumpkin subscribers, Stampin' Up! Will give us a brand new tool that's not yet, that will be coming out in the holiday catalog. So things like that make it super fun. Stampin' Up! Treats their demonstrators really, really well. Those of you who follow my page have been able to see some of the amazing gifts that I received on the recent Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. They are not chintzy at all. So it is fantastic. Oh, thank you, my friend Brenda. Team Stick Girl is on. So that is another perk that I was going to get to, Brenda, is that when you purchase the starter kit from me, and again, this is just a perk from me, is that I offer benefits to people on my team. So Brenda is saying that she is so she feels like it's a real perk to be part of my team, and I appreciate that because I love my team. They are like my Stampin' family, and I love being generous with them, and I love sharing everything I learn and everything I do with them. I actually take it really seriously, my Team Stick Stampers, because I just see them as family. They're part of my family, and so being part of my family means that every month they get tutorials emailed to them. Every month they have access to sort of a Stampin' night with make and takes, and every month they're entitled to training. For those that want to kind of grow a business or maybe earn a little side income, I do monthly training calls, and I do them on video conference. So I have team members across Canada who join in and participate. We have an exclusive Facebook group, not just for business, but also for inspiration, where we do creative challenges. Sometimes we play games. There's also, gosh, there's so many things that I do every week. I do a Facebook Live just with my team so that we can connect and chat and just enjoy each other's company. So again, these are all wonderful perks of being part of the Stampin' Up! Family. It's so much more than the discount. Although even though that's why I first joined, that's why many people first joined. But what keeps us going is all the other perks, whether it's the getting to see the products first, getting the catalogs first, being treated so nicely by Stampin' Up!, whether it's the Stampin' Up! Events that they hold. A great reason to sign up now is that Stampin' Up! Is celebrating their 30th anniversary. And so they are having a big party in Orlando in November. So it's going to be a 30th anniversary party where they are going to showcase and unveil the spring catalog and celebration catalog. So anybody who joins now would be eligible to attend that event in Orlando. And even if you don't attend, you'll still have access to the resources that they give there. Those resources are being able to see the new catalog, you know, videos, all that sort of thing will be available for you. So it's just all those things together make it really fantastic. So let me, I didn't really write down any notes, but I do have this, I always keep things in this folder that I want to share about the starter kit. So I told you about a sample starter kit. I showed you what could go into a sample starter kit. If any of you want me to email this to you, I can, but you can actually access it by going to my website, genevieve.stampinup.net/join-the-fun, and it's just a link that you can click there and download a suggested starter kit. But again, you can choose whatever you want in your starter kit. You don't have to be limited to these things. But you know, you remember that if you do get those things on the suggested list, you can make cute cards like this. So that's one thing. The other thing is this great brochure. So I do have a little brochure. I'm just going to quickly flip through it to make sure I covered everything I want to cover. Oh yes, nobody asked about how Stampin' Up! Started. They're celebrating 30 years. But this company just started very grassroots 30 years ago by a woman named Shelley Gardner, who wanted to be able to do something meaningful while she was home with the kids and earn a little extra money. So it started in her family's living room. They actually started selling stamps from her family's living room. So that's where it started. And so now they are 50,000 demonstrators, I believe, worldwide in 10 different countries. They, as I mentioned, have been around for 30 years, and they are a strong, financially strong company. And I have had the privilege in the past several years to be a top performer. The last 2 years I was ranked #1 in Canada. So I always love to share my experience and everything I've learned with my team, so that they, you know, everything I do and I experience, I share with my team. So I don't feel like anything's a secret with them. Maybe I share too much. Maybe sometimes it's TMI with them, the things I share. But my stamping journey is also their stamping journey as well. So any of you that are considering the starter kit, please know that it's a great opportunity, not just for the discount, but for the experience and the journey. So yes. And enjoy the rewards. Yes, so as I mentioned, that the 20% discount is available as soon as you purchase the starter kit and are assigned, you know, once the starter kit ships and everything, you'll be assigned a password so that you can access the back website just for demonstrators. And you get that 20% discount right away. But that discount can go up to, and I shouldn't just call it a discount, because some people also use it as commission. It really depends if you're buying for yourself or whether you're selling the product. So it can go right up to 38%. So that, you know, that's a great commission. And not very many people, at least I just feel so blessed to have a hobby where I earn money. Everybody has hobbies, right? Everybody has hobbies. Some people golf, some people jog, some people ski. I mean, every hobby has expenses, but it's such a blessing to have a hobby that earns money, or that you can earn money to pay for your hobby. So that's been my experience. It's been amazing. Yeah, okay, so that's in that folder. I told you again, and I'm just going to remind you again, the offer for the 10 free ink pads on top of the starter kit ends July 31st. So if you are interested in taking advantage of this, please message me. Let me know. I want to be able to help you through the process if you would like, answer any further questions. But just remember, it is only $135, no tax, no shipping, and you get to choose $165 worth of product. And only till the end of July, you get these additional 10 ink pads, which is over, I mean, by the time you add the tax and shipping, that's over $100 value, because they're $92.25 before tax and shipping for those ink pads. So I guess that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna do another little, if I can find my little sheet here, I'm just gonna do another reminder about the amazing value of the starter kit. It really messes me up, this image thing, so that hopefully you can see everything the right way. That if you were to buy the product retail, it would end up costing you, what does it say here? $319.76. But if you want to take advantage of the starter kit now, you would only be paying $135, no tax, no shipping, for exactly the same product. That's a savings of $184.76, and that's just financial. That's not even talking about the extra benefits and perks, which you can't even put a value on, about being able to see the catalog first, getting free catalogs, seeing those exclusive videos. So hopefully that gives you an overview about the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit and answers any questions. I know some people won't be able to tune in live and will be watching later, so just a reminder, you have until 7 p.m. on Monday Eastern Standard Time to ask your questions. I will keep an eye on the thread and answer them, and anyone who asks any questions that I can answer will be entered into the raffle. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Thanks for letting me share my Stampin' Up! Story with you. Thanks for letting me share some stamping with you tonight on a Sunday evening. And I hope you'll have a great evening. Take care. Bye.